May from Ceramics, and today we are exploring Japanese and Korean sunscreen. Being in Australia, sunscreen is super important to me because the UV is so high here. I also really want one that sits well with my makeup. I don't usually wear tons of makeup, but something like this is probably my day-to-day. So I don't wear any foundation or concealer. It's just my skin with some sunscreen, bronzer, blush, my eyebrows done, a bit of eyeliner and eyeshadow, and then a nice little like lip stain or a light lipstick. My holy grail sunscreen is the Biore UV Watery Gel. It's super lightweight, it's almost kind of like gel-like, gives a nice dewy sheen as well. I love this formula so much, and I also love that it's also really easy to find. So this is definitely one that will remain as a holy grail. Super perfect. I will never move away from this one at all, even though I've gone through so many of these other sunscreens. That definitely still is my favorite. Next up is the Anessa Perfect UV Sunscreen Skincare Gel. It's SPF 50 plus, and it definitely is on a thicker side, so it definitely leaves you feeling a little bit oilier. It's got quite a thick texture. It does leave a really nice glow though. It does have quite a strong fragrance to it though, so there are some days where I just absolutely don't want to use this one at all just because of the smell, but I love the texture that it actually gives my skin, and it makes it look super dewy and hydrated. If you want something that is a little less greasy feeling, you might want to then opt for the Anessa Milk. This literally has the texture of milk. If I can show you, it literally just runs like water. This has more of a light fragrance compared to the cream version and leaves more of a velvet feel on the face. It also feels less greasy as well, so this is my go-to when I'm looking for more of like that matte kind of velvet feel. It feels very smooth after you use this one too. Next up we have is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice and Probiotics SPF 50 plus. This is one that I really wanted to love, and honestly I was so disappointed after using it. It smells like chemicals honestly when I use it, so I just really don't like it for the smell. It is a light cream, so it is quite nice to put on. It feels hydrating when you put it on, and it does sink in really fast. I'll give them that. In terms of the finish, it leaves quite a nice sheen, which is kind of hard to show on this, and after it dries out it feels, I guess, like a little bit powdery, so like more of like a matte look, which is, you know, for some people. But yeah, in terms of the smell, I'm just really not about the smell. I feel like all the other Japanese ones that I bought have more like of a light fragrance or something that's a lot more tolerable, which is what I prefer. But yeah, something that smells like straight up chemicals just isn't really for me. I found sunscreen wipes from Muji, and I was very curious to see how these would go. They smell really good, and they're also pretty wet as well, so I was very surprised. How effective they are, I can't really exactly say, but on a hot day when you're looking to just kind of refresh your arms, this is really great. So it comes in a little like wet wipe kind of sheet, and when you just wipe it on, it feels super wet. It doesn't feel like creamy or anything like that. So you can definitely tell where you've wiped just from how cooling it is. Love these. I feel like these are really good for traveling with. I don't exactly know how well this package will hold up though when it comes to traveling with it, and whether or not they'll dry out like, you know, normal wet wipes, but yeah, worth getting. This is such a good invention. I wish that they sold these ones here. I also have the Innisfree Hyaluron Moist Sunscreen. This definitely is not one of my favorites, but I definitely still like how this one performs. It feels super hydrating, and the formula itself is definitely more of like a hydrating cream, almost kind of like gel-like as well. I feel like it dries quite matte on my skin, which is why I don't really have this one as one of my favorites, just purely because I prefer more of a dewy look on my skin when it comes to going out and, you know, prepping my skin. One that really surprised me was the Nivea UV Deep Protect and Care. This is so lovely. It's like a gel formula. There's a really light fragrance to it. It just feels very hydrating when you put it on your skin, and it leaves a nice little sheen as well. So I would definitely recommend getting this one if you're in Japan. This one's really worth it. Definitely give this one a go if you're in Japan. Next up is the Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence, SPF 50 again. I thought that this would be comparable to my holy grail, which is this watery gel. And I'm inclined to say that it's not really, because it has a really strong alcohol smell, which I really don't like. In terms of texture, it's definitely comparable to the watery gel. It's very gel-like and hydrating. It feels nice, but yeah, in terms of the actual like smell, it smells really alcohol-y, and it just makes me think that my skin is just going to feel super dried out when I use it. It's definitely not one that I gravitate to because of the alcohol smell in the sunscreen. I picked up 2 sun sticks while over in Japan, and one is the, actually no, I picked up one in Korea. So this is the Beauty of Joseon Matte Sun Stick, Mugwort and Camellia. And there. And if I open it up, it's just green and has a little screw kind of mechanism to pop it out. And the other one I got was the Momo Ururi SPF 50 Plus, and this smells so good. It smells like peaches. It's a little light pink color too. This smells really good, but I felt like I should put the sun sticks together because in terms of review, I have kind of come to the same conclusion. In terms of application, very, very easy, but you can't really reapply after makeup. Not that any of these ones that I'm reviewing today really can be used that way because it's not really a mist. But in terms of a sunstick, I think you're looking at this as more of a targeted sunscreen application kind of vibe. Probably not for me. I had hoped that these would, I don't know, I guess change the sunscreen game for me, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go and purchase these again, but definitely good to, I guess, have on hand. I do like that it's a balm in a way because it means that if I'm traveling, it just won't spill into my bag. But again, with the application, it's hard to know exactly where you've got the sunscreen on if you're just kind of like using it like a glue stick. I also bought this Allie Facial Gel UV sunscreen for face. There's also a body version as well. In terms of the actual face one though, I felt like the gel is more of a cream really. Definitely not a gel consistency like the Biore one or like even the Nivea gel. I really like the consistency of those, but this is definitely on the thicker side, so yeah, definitely is more of a cream. In terms of how it sits on my face, it definitely dries off more on the matte side and it gives a nice little sheen, but the thing that is a little bit off-putting is like it has a light chemically kind of scent, so it does go away, but yeah, I wouldn't say that I'd be running back to go and get these. Next one up is the Innisfree Green Tea Hyaluronic Moist Sun Serum. It's the green tea one, and this is really, really good. This is probably one of the favorite sunscreens that I got out of the whole trip. It's got a really nice, like kind of almost gel-like consistency in terms of texture, but it's just so hydrating. Really, really nice on the skin. It also smells super good as well, so I'd highly recommend getting this one. This and the Nivea one, along with my holy grail Biore, is probably my top 3 recommendations out of all of this one. I really hope that my comments and reviews of these sunscreens have kind of been helpful if you're looking on what sunscreen to buy when you visit Japan or Korea. If you enjoyed my review of all these sunscreens today, do give me a thumbs up. I have bought also a bunch of other like lip balms and things which I'm working through after going to Japan and Korea, so if you'd love to see a review of those items and what I'd recommend, do let me know. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. See ya, bye. A velvety feel on your skin. Wow.